sun sinks low, dust on the shelves from years ago. Brass and steel with a story to tell. Gene turns a wrench, knows him well. Rust in the found, soot on the glass. Time left scars from a long gone past. But he hears the hiss like an old friend's call. Says we'll get you shining now.
All right, hope you're having a great evening. So I got back on this AIDA here, so I'll tell you what I've done so far. So first of all, the tank, we went ahead and applied, let's try to use superhuman strength on this. We applied an epoxy in there to seal up the lip that was weeping. I don't know if you can see. Let's see, okay, right there you can see where it was leaking there. The epoxy sealed it. Where else? Right there and right there. Yeah, let's see here. Trying to get a good, anyway, it's sealed. Seemed like it worked really well. It's had a long time to dry, which is great. So let's take a look in here. Let's see if you can see. I'm gonna put the, let me get seated here real quick here. Hold on. Oh, I'll be honest with you, I was looking at the not AI, whatever you want to call it, the glasses that have the camera and stuff, and I just realized, like, yeah, you know what, it would be cool if you could do it, like be able to zoom in and out and things like that. But for the price, and it's like I saw Steve's video where he tried them, it doesn't seem like it's very good. I'll be honest with you. For me, it seems like the phone is the best way to try to get, well, in close and personal of what I'm doing. And though I can't always, you know, hold it with like a stand and do a, you know, a video and show you everything, at least I can get in here and I can really show you some stuff. Like, for example, right now, I'm going to show you what's going on inside this tank. So I'm going to see if we can just get in here and take a quick look. Looks like a nice little home if you were really small, but yeah, you can see some shininess for the epoxy. See if we can get on the other side here somehow. But yeah, it sealed that whole bottom. It's a very thin layer. I swished it around and I dumped out as much as I could because I didn't want an excessive layer in there. And you can see right what you're looking at right now is you're looking at the check valve poking through. So that's a brand new used check valve I got on eBay. I could have got a new one, but the problem is that you have to, you can even see the reflection. Look at the reflection. So you can see the epoxy has really done put a nice floor in there. So if you're a miniature creature, you could live in there like a little home. It's got a nice shiny floor and everything. But anyway, that's a good used check valve. If I want a new one, I'd have to get it from another country, to be honest with you. And who knows how much time it would take and that type of thing. So this one seems to be fine, and we're helping out an individual who's on eBay. He's got an eBay store. I've bought other parts from them, and they've been really good parts. So with that said, I bought this burner torch, this assembly right here, because mine was plugged up. It wasn't working good. So we got this one here. So what we're doing right now, we're kind of out of focus here. Nope, didn't work. There we go. So I pulled out the pip. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get back in focus somehow. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get into focus. Anyway, it's cupped and it's, you know, it's not as pliable. What I first did is I went and I pulled it out. The outside was mushroom and I trimmed around it and I reversed it. And that might work. I don't know. But I got the Viton rubber in and I paid with shipping $9.95 for this piece right here. And I'll tell you what I've gotten out of it so far. So first of all, I punched myself out a new pip for this, and this thing goes down and it sits right there with that little thing right there, and it seals this off when you're not using it. So I punched that out with a leather punch here. This is I got this on Amazon. I've had it for a couple of years, but it's worked out really well. It's a good quality one and it does a nice job. The only thing you have to do sometimes is you have to get it centered there so it gets a nice strike on it. And then for the foot valve, which goes on here. So what happens is, let's see if we can do this. I don't know if you'll be able to see. So you see that move up and down? So what happens is when it's in the up position like that, it now allows flow of kerosene up through this tube, somehow flows around here into the generator, which vaporizes it, and then we'll take it up through here. Take it up through there right there. Now, with that said, there's also a tip cleaner on this thing. So let's see if I flip it the other way. So when you go down, okay. So let's stop and let me Let me take back everything I said. It's reverse. So when it's up like this, it is pushed in, and so the spring in the foot valve pushes the seal up against this, sealing it off, and then also the same time the tip cleaner goes and cleans and semi-seals off the tip. Okay, so we got that right now. So now when you reverse it, and now we go this way, now that little foot thing right there, the little tip, pushes down on your seal, pushes it down, and now there can be flow through here, through the tube, with the kerosene under pressure going through the hot generator when it's hot, and the tip is now receded in, which now doesn't impede flow, and it'll spray a gaseous mist of kerosene up here. So now we got that straight. So when it's in the down position, we're good to go for flow, and the tip is not impeded, and the gas can go through once this is heated up. And then when we're in the up position, that tip goes upward. The spring pressure and the spring up in here lets that rubber seal against that surface, sealing this off, and the tip cleaner is now in here and kind of seals it, just like a Coleman when you want to shut her down fast. You turn off the valve and you flip that tip cleaner so that it closes off the tip and the thing will shut down a lot quicker. All right, so that's how that works right there. So with that said, let's see here. So like I say, this Viton has worked out real good for 10 bucks. So we made a seal. Now I know on another video I talked about taking like a little nail, a little brass nail or something, drilling through the center there, putting that little brass nail in there to be like a little, and grinding it flat, well, ahead of time, I guess. So that would be a seat for that little tip right there to push on. But in all saying, it's like, this is really hard Viton rubber. It's really hard, and it's really thick, and I think it has enough body that it will push down on it and it'll keep working. So, well, I don't have it in front of me, but let's pull it out here. Hold on. Excuse my messy tools. Well, they're not really messy, they're just the way they are. All right, so here's our little hole punches things, which don't actually work that great. But in here, I've got actually the original pieces. Let me see if I can pull one of these out. I pulled one out. So I'll show you what it looked like. So I'm actually not, I can't get focus. Come on, give me focus. There we go. It's hard to tell if that's just rubber and it's gotten hard and it's gotten a dent over time, or if there's actually some kind of metal in there. So the way I figure it is that the original one I made out of regular rubber worked fine until it swelled up and got just turned to like a gummy jello. So obviously that is not compatible with kerosene, but originally it worked just great. So I'm thinking that the Viton will hold up and it won't be necessary to put any other little metal or tip or anything in there. So we're going to try it because it's not that hard to just pull it apart and check on it if it starts acting weird, and then do something different. So let's try that first. And this is, like, say, a nice, what is that? 1/8 inch rubber right there, Viton. So we're going to try it and see how it worked. But it, I wasn't actually able to, I didn't have a big enough punch. Well, let's put it this way. Let's take that back. The punches that I used, these ones, were not able to penetrate the Viton. This is like an Amazon special, whereas this punch just had no problem. It went right through it. So I kind of had to just, I used this punch with the vise, and it made a nice round indent of the size I want, and then I used these really awesome whisk scissors to kind of snip it out, and then I used a Dremel with a little sander thingamajig on it. And I kind of just went around and just kind of smoothed it out and, cleaned it up a little bit. And it worked fine. So now this right here is our, see, is that the new one? Yeah. So that's the new pip thingamajig for this. And I got to stick it in here. And this is the old one. I hope so. Yeah, you can see the indent. So that's the old one. And in actuality, let's see if we can do this here. So screwed up here. It's a little bit thicker, which is great. So it'll have a little bit more reach. So let me go ahead and put that in there, and let's put the foot valve together. Let's put a little bit of this blue sealant. Is amazing stuff. It really works good. But I let it sit overnight for 24 hours. It's a solvent based. I don't have any lead seals. Well, there's an original lead seal, but I've had really good luck with this stuff. It's for natural gas. Well, it can use for other stuff, but I bought it originally for natural gas, but it's worked really good for my lantern. So, all right, I'm going to get back to work and then I'll come back and catch you in a little bit. All right. So I've installed it. And what's nice is that when I hole punch it, it kind of almost mushrooms it a little bit. So the thin side, or the narrower side, it made it really easy to just push right in. It's staying just fine. But you listen to it, you hear a nice rubbery thump. Hear that? Not metallic. It's got a nice thump. Probably a good seal, God willing. All right. So what's interesting is the pump. I got a new old stock pump. It's actually from a different model. Now, this piece right here on the new pump assembly looks very similar, but the threads wouldn't screw. I don't know if it was slightly different or not, but it has a brass end with a groove, and it has an O-ring in there. So what I did is I was able to unscrew and take this piece and this piece and this piece, and then use the rest of the pump and put it in there. And then the remainder of it, which is really actually worked out well. Where did I put it? Yeah, here it is. This is the old one. So I didn't have a pump cup, a leather for it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this for my other AIDA, because it's got a nice leather leather for it. So we're going to use its leather, and it was missing this piece right here. So what I can do is I can actually go ahead and unscrew this, and it didn't have this piece right here. And what that does is that allows you to push down, and then you twist it and it locks it in place. And what I was using is I was using a knob from a valve wheel from a stove, a spare one that I had, and it would kind of screw on there and worked fine, but it didn't have this little piece on there. So we're going to go ahead and take pieces from this to make the other one really nice. But this is, like, say, from the new one, and the threads were just slightly different. So it's not going to do me any good, but these pieces right here are going to do just fine. And the length of this pump is just slightly a little bit shorter, but it seems fine. I was able to pump it up. I don't think there's going to be that much issue right there. So that's what we're going to do. So we're fixing two AIDAs with one new old stock pump, which is great. All right. So now that we've done it, we got the pipillator fixed. Well, it's not the pipillator installed. This piece right here, this is part of the torch. It would kind of go on like this. I'm not going to put it in yet. And then once it's pushed in there, then this is able to go in like that. This is from the new one. Really a good quality used part. I was very happy. I can't remember the name of the vendor, but they really did me right. I mean, I paid some money for it. It wasn't free, but at least I got a really good quality product. It's used, but a good one. It's a reputable person. They did a nice job on that, helping me out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and install this thing here, and let's get this thing back together. All right. See you in a little bit. So the one thing I got to say is that you actually have to pull that piece out. Come on, let's try and get some clearance here. I mean, not clearance. Let's try to get some visual here. What that show? I cannot get it. Okay. Nope. I'm bad at this. Anyway, you can see the groove in there. It's just like a Coleman, like the eccentric valve. Eccentric valve? Yeah. So to get the clearance to clear that, you got to pull that out. And the first nut, you need to unscrew that first before you can do the second one to make it work, to get it out gently without damaging anything. All right. All right, so we got this portion together here. So I got to put this piece back in here. So it was nice, I was able to, so out of this little square, I was able to make the foot valve pip, and I got one pip for this, and I was able to punch out one more pip. I think that's it, I hope it is. I don't think it's the old one.
Hi. Hi.
Yes.
Come on.
All right. All right, we're back here. So I had to go inside for a little while, because we're ready to watch some more Lethal Weapon, the series. Yeah. So anyway, I had pumped this up a little bit before I went in to watch series here, and I came back and it still had pressure in it, so that's good. So I added a little bit more pressure to it. I don't need to see anything. You can see on the gauge there. I pumped it halfway. Remember, there's no fuel in this thing, so, but yeah, it wasn't too hard to pump up. But yeah, everything seems to be working pretty good here. So let's go ahead and listen for the torch here. So that's working good. The pip's working good. And then we'll come over here to this guy. Listen. Hear it? You can feel it. Let's see if I can, I don't know if I can do this. Maybe I can. Let's see here. There you go. So yeah, the foot valve is working good. This one's working good. So bad at this. All right, let's try. I don't know if it'll do it for this one. Oh no, you can just hear it. So yeah, we're good to go here. All right, well, tomorrow we'll finish putting her together, and maybe I can do it right now. All right, give me a few minutes here. Together. So this thing right here, it just slides on here. Put this little plate on with the primer cup. It's got the primer cup integrated, and then throw the screw in here, and then just tighten it down. And you're good to go. All right, let me go get the globe. All right, so I got the globe. Throw her in. Okay. Let me get the... Okay. All right, so now we're ready for this guy. So there's the little hole that this will fit. Fits in like that, which is probably more. Then I got this guy. Stick her on there. And then scoosh these things together. There it is. We're all back together. All right, so let's bring her back here. Hold on, I'm gonna move this stuff down here. There it is. And then we're gonna put it over here. And we're ready to go to light her up tomorrow. It's too late now. So let's listen again for the error. Hear it? And then this one, see if we can hear it. Hear it? Yep, we're all good. All right. See here, am I crooked or anything? No. No, that's it. All right. There it is. All right, we're gonna leave it. All right, you have a great evening, and the remainder of the week, have a great Thursday and Friday and weekend. All right, take care.